I'm guessing it's time to talk about Star Wars again, so let's go. Hey, there's Tom from Tom's Tech Show, and a lot of things going on about rumors about Star Wars, other things happening with it that somehow it's going to be reset. We're going to get Star Wars is going to be back to being, something we really want or something. I doubt all of it, but the new rumors to save Star Wars comes down to this thing about the veil from Star Wars Rebels, I believe it was, and we're kind of jumping, of course, into Star Trek, the mirror universe kind of thing, where there was this other universe in Star Trek, where there was this other universe, and they would jump in and out of it every once in a while. They needed another story. They had an idea for a story that would include that, which I guess is kind of okay if you're doing that in a regular ongoing TV series, and this TV series is not switching to that alternate universe. Like, they didn't leave the regular timeline of Star Trek and just suddenly go to the mirror universe and stay there, right? And that's what we're asking, what they're saying here, that Star Wars is gonna happen. So I can't see that happening. I mean, I do know some people that worked and have worked at Disney and worked at Lucasfilm, and anytime I ask my friend that works at Disney about any film that's coming out, they toe the line. They toe the company line. They don't break from it. They don't say anything. Last Jedi was the best, most wonderful, incredible movie masterpiece ever. That's what they will tell you, and they're going to hold the line. And I'm sure if I actually wanted to ask him about the Rise of Skywalker, it's going to be, it was incredible. I can't believe that it was so amazing. That's what you're going to get, because at Disney, if you don't toe the line and follow what they tell you to say, you lose your job. Basically, you get pigeonholed off. You get something, put on some horrible project. They make your life miserable, and then eventually you either are terminated or your job just becomes miserable. So now, how is Disney Lucasfilm going to now take the three children that they gave birth to, and basically after they've been born, they've been out in the world for a while, now they're going to basically abort them. Now they're going to say, nope, this is no longer anything. And how do you get rid of the Solo movie that was beyond disgrace? I couldn't sit and watch Solo all at one time. I had to watch a little bit of it, get disgusted, go pour myself a drink, and then later come back to it. I really couldn't sit through it. It was just, I can't even express how horrible that film was. So, I mean, the only one that was halfway decent, I guess, was Rogue One. I guess they could leave that in as part of Disney. That one's at least tolerable. I mean, I think I've seen that only like 3 times. We own it. Maybe I should watch that again or something. But the more we go on with this, I mean, you're not going to get them to deny anything about Kathleen Kennedy. I'm sure she makes the best coffee in the office and makes sure everybody has all their copies done and all that. So, you can't go against that. But everyone who hailed and just lavished Rian Johnson and everything else with all of this praise and everything else, the one thing that we know about social justice, identity politic people is that they don't go back and apologize and change their position on things. So how are they going to make it so that, these movies over here are now bad, right? You're not going to reverse their opinions. You're not going to do anything like that. That's not going to happen. So the one thing that I could really see them doing is jumping like 50 years into the future and starting everything over again. And having that be like everybody's forgotten about the Force has gone away, and then you find someone and start making movies about someone who's discovering the Force, and then, finding the books or something, and then moving forward and having that grow into a new Jedi, and then through that, maybe it's actually the core start of a story where there's two friends, and the situation ends up they find the books, they read the books together, and one takes the light path and one takes the dark path, right? That would be compelling, and then everything else that was part of this horrible trash fire of the Disney movies so far could actually go away, and you wouldn't even have to think about it. You could just dive back into a renewed universe. So that's kind of how I think. I mean, there's only been really one place where I've seen in the past in the Lucasfilm genre, whatever, where they've actually gone back a little bit. Where here, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, right after they made the Temple of Doom, Steven Spielberg himself said he made The Last Crusade as an apology for the Temple of Doom. Of course, after that, we went on to the Crystal Skull, which was another trash fire. So they're going, they're doing the odd, even thing, good, bad, like these Star Trek films, where every other one is good. And so the next one, the fifth one, obviously, is going to be bad. Or the sixth one. Is that? No, that's... So, yeah. So the next one should be good, right? So Raiders of the Lost Ark was good. Temple of Doom was bad. That one was good. Crystal Skull was bad. So we do have hope for the next film that it's going to be good if it follows the pattern, right? Like the Star Trek films, of the good bad as they go on. Although the Star Trek films started with the bad and then went to the good and then bad and then good as they went on down the line. So, but this is basically the only time that I can remember where anybody has reversed direction or said something that criticized any work at Lucasfilm. So any of this happening, I just don't see it. I really like my idea of moving 50 years into the future, or even 100 years in the future, where everyone has forgotten about the Force. The Force is gone, and two brothers or two friends two brothers would be fine as well, find the book of the Jedi and then start to learn it and start to do it, and events that happen in their lives turn one towards the dark and one towards the light side. And then that becomes building up into, factions and forces and everything else through a nice trilogy arc where the first one is just them discovering it, and the second one is, one starts teaching, they each start teaching others, and then one gets involved, they get involved in the politics and everything else, and that starts to break, the politics and everything apart, and then finally, big battles and forces and everything, and in the last third film of a trilogy. That would actually, I like that kind of timeline. That would, and don't go crazy with people healing people on the spot when they don't know what, their force powers are, and just make them up on the spot. No, I don't want that. Don't need that. So anyway, I do have one other thing that I'm doing. Speaking of Star Wars, I have these. These are some little Star Wars ships. They're made by Hot Wheels. They're from way back when. I don't know when these were initially made. Probably many years ago. But I have that. And then we are breaking out some other things here. So we're going to have to figure out, okay, so here is this. We know how I make things. I like to make things like there's the lights. There's a little microphone here that picks up my voice, sends it to an Arduino over on the wall, and picks up the lights and stuff. So I have that, and then I have, we'll switch cameras here, go to this one. So this is a battery pack, and this is a motor speed regulator. And then I have a pack of motors that's here. These are little small 3-volt DC motors. And then I have a small box. That the battery and stuff is going to go in the box. That's going to go in the box. I've got the cover. I got some switches and stuff to be able to do. That's not a switch. Do some switch things. Then I have this right here in this bag. We take this out. This is a small hat. It's a brimless hat right here. So I have that. I'm dropping things. Here's my switches. Right there, I got switches to turn it on and off. And all that. So, and then I've got some heavy poster board that's down here. So I don't know if you're going to be able to visualize this. Okay. I have some metal rods too here. These are some metal rods, big, nice craft metal rods. So if you can picture these on top of the hat right here, where this is, and then if you can picture on each end of the rod a ship, and then mouse ears, and with holes in them, and the ships on the end of the metal rods. And then when I flip the switch, the motor turns on and the ships are going to fly around in circles through the ears as they wear this through Disneyland. This is my thing that I'm making for getting back into the park. My special Mickey ear hat that's motorized craft, it's my maker. There's makers out in the world that do make things and stuff. So this is my maker space. Here's one of the small, 3-volt motors that's I'm going to put on here in the middle of the hat. I'm going to take the center part. There's a little cap here on the top that's going to come off, and then the little motor is going to be inside there. It's going to spin and fly everything around. I'm working on this. It's getting we're getting there. I think I have all my parts that I need. So I don't know if you watch, Adam Savage. He does his one-day builds. Well, this may be a 1 or 2 day kind of build, but I'm going to try and put it all together in one video as I do all the different pieces and stuff. So that is about something about Star Wars that I'm really excited about. Being able to do this little project and make something fun out of Star Wars. Of course, I am only using the, classic X-Wing and TIE Fighter, not using anything from the Disney Star Wars at all. Not doing that. So just a classic X-Wing and TIE Fighter for them. All right. So what do you guys think? Is Star Wars going to be saved? Are we going to have a better Star Wars? What's going to happen? Do you believe the rumor that they're going to use this veil and everything else? I hope not. I think there is the other rumor that in 2022 that Star Wars, the Star Wars event, that Star Wars Celebration in 2022 in Anaheim, that they're going to announce the changing of the guard, and Jon Favreau is going to now be head of the whole thing. So we'll see if that happens. That's many years away, but in some ways, I hope that there's a huge change, but in the current climate out in the world, I have no faith that it is going to be any better. So I'll stick with my little projects. I have my little projects that I'm going to be doing and creating, and I'll do that, and it's all classic Star Wars, and that's where I am, and that's what I love. So, all right, let me know what you think. And we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching this one. Take care.